Hello and welcome to Reviews on Plume Noir. And yeah, we have Ironheart. I have the digital copy here, so I have it on my tablet. And yeah, Ironheart. This series has been surprising to me. Unfortunately, I don't think this is really showing up on my phone as nice as it could be. This cover is it's not bad. I actually kind of like this cover. A few complaints. I mean, is she flying or is she falling? Because we don't seem to have like any type of propulsion coming out of her, like out of her boots. And either way, it kind of works with the character. And I'll come to that. I always say it, but I will come back to that. Um, Although this boat down here is capsizing. I don't know. Can you see that? Yeah, that boat's capsizing. Um, but yeah, it's a attractive cover. I always say I prefer covers that are more indicative of what's going on in the issue. Um, but yeah, this one's not bad. It's got a lot of detail. It's well done, and a few walkiness aside, it's perfectly fine. And trust me, actually looks better on um, in person than the tablet through the color. What happens if I turn on the flash? That seems to bring out the colors a little bit. I'm trying not to get a glare, so yeah, the colors look good. I like this cover. So, Eve Ewing has really been surprising me with this because, I've mentioned, others have mentioned, she never wrote comics before because that's what Marvel does. That's what Marvel and DC do. People who've never written comics, let's give them big pushes and their own number one new series. Um, we're seeing that a lot in DC. We see it a lot at Marvel. And this one, I think, is the exception. This one is not a bad book. Um, so we'll pop right in. One thing I do want to say, the opening page with the credits page has a little. This is one of the only books that I like the layout. I like what they've done, the energy effects, the stylized, and the little description here. I guess you would say previously on is like energy coming out of the eyes. I don't think I've mentioned that, but this is a nice design. I really kind of like that. So, as you know, her friend Deja, is that how you say her name? I don't even know how you say it. Um, went missing. A bunch of kids have gone missing and they're stealing electronics. So this is 2 years ago. She graduates. She's going to MIT, and her friend, Deja. In fact, her mom even says, "Just a second, Riri. I'm gonna get some flowers. Won't that be nice? It'll look nice." And Deisha's standing there. Oh, one thing I need to point out about this. It starts off with states of matter. One of the first concepts in physics I remember learning. I was probably 3 years old. Most people don't know glass is actually a liquid. Well, you're 3 years old. The reason why most people don't know that is because it's really not. Um, Scientists are actually in debate, and they have been for years. There's just been a relatively recent convention about this. Some people believe it's a amorphous solid. Some people think it's a state of a supercooled liquid. But yeah, it's not really truthful to say that it's a liquid and no. The glass is a liquid, and most people don't know that. Scientists are still arguing whether it should be classified as a solid or liquid. The consensus is that it's actually in a state between solid and liquid. I remember reading that there was even some type of additional state, some transitionary state that scientists um, have wanted to label it as. Because it doesn't form the crystalline like most liquids do when they become a solid. Yeah, she's right about when she says the atoms slow down, but it doesn't actually behave like one or the other. I can go into this. I'm kind of a physics geek, so but yeah, she's not completely correct there. I guess it really depends on which scientist you ask. So the first panel of the book, and I got stuck on that. So, little mini geek rant aside, we come back to her mom is oh mommy, I'm Deja. We went to school together. So nice to meet you. Riri never mentioned she had a friend. What year did you graduate? Actually, I didn't. I had some family circumstances and I've been helping my mom out. So, yeah, this is, I guess she got accepted into MIT here. Um, and her mom is telling her, good for you, sweetheart. Sometimes the road gets a little shaky, but it's good that you can help your family. Come by the house. We have a caramel cake, and I might eat the whole thing, the whole doggone thing myself, right, Riri? Huh? Oh, definitely. I'd like that. Yeah, for some reason, Riri isn't, even though they were friends, I don't know, maybe she feels guilty here. So now we come to the current with Xavier comes up, and uh, Riri is investigating, trying to figure out what's going on with that kind of cartel with the kids stealing electronics and the disappearance of kids. And, he points out, that doesn't look like something you get down the block at Big Tommy's used electronics emporium. It's on loan. It's not as complicated as it looks. Just an LCD projector rigged to interface with police reports, cross-references with... yeah, no, that's not how LCD projectors work. That is... Yeah, that's not how they work at all. So they're trying to figure out, trying to come up with... you're trying to find some connection. And her mom gives her a little bit of hell for not being in class, for instead sending her hologram of her dead friend to class with her, in place of her. And aren't you going to take notes? I am taking notes. Are you going to mind your business? Silly, ha ha ha. I don't think teachers would allow that. Um, so yeah, it's basically her mother's trying to tell her focus on school stuff, and I know you're strong and healthy up here, pointing to her head. You need to be strong and healthy in here. Will you come to the support group with me just once? Maybe. So Riri has problems. It looks like she's suffering from PTSD, or at least something. And it's after what we've seen in Iron Man, it's kind of humanizing. So anyway, Riri and Xavier are working on this and trying to find some connection, but it takes 2 hours before they make the connection that the people work together, that there's a connection with what they do with their job. And yeah, this guy whose phone I rescued, housing committee on city council, several members of the county board, da 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 da. So they work for politicians. And so, yeah, she thinks they're being called up for dinner. But no, her friend is on TV. I felt stress and anxiety, so I ran away from home. Xavier points out that she looks off. Yeah, show, don't tell, come on. The pauses, you didn't need to have to narrow it down like that. She says she trips. The talking heads, are ripping on her and maybe suspecting maybe drugs, kind of victim blaming. And, I've seen, news reports with, missing kids are found. I've never seen, then the news reports start victim blaming like this. Okay, maybe the cable news, but not like the local news. I've never seen that. As bad as the news can be sometimes, they usually have a little bit more decorum than that. And, her mother says, I don't know, this story leaves me with a whole lot of questions. Me too. She just turns the TV off on them, and I'm going to get some answers. Yeah, by the way, those are supposed to be hearts. It's kind of weird. So what does Riri do? What does our hero do? She taps on the hospital bed, the glass of the hospital where her friend Deja is. Wouldn't it have just been easier to walk in as herself? I mean, maybe it's after hours, but yeah, does she have to do this whole flying up and having to find the right window and waking up someone? And when Deja points out it's a sealed window, it doesn't open. Riri decides to destroy hospital property by cutting the window open so she can get in. At least Aisha has the right idea. Oh, Lord. Ow. Did she bend herself funny or she cut herself? I don't know why she said ow. Why are you doing this? I could ask you the same question. Why are you on TV telling lies? That's a little harsh. That is a real bit, that's really harsh. Um, you're calling me a liar? You can tell me the truth. I'm not a little kid anymore. And yeah, she kind of gives her a little bit of crap. And um, are those retro Fly Girl 8s? You're a sneakerhead now? I'm just curious. Leave, Riri. I'm gone. Okay, that's really kind of awkward. But can you blame her? Have you ever been admitted into the hospital? Doctors constantly poking you and checking you. Sometimes you just want to sleep. And then you have this chick in armor cutting her way into the glass? But of course, leave her alone. She's not coming back. You told me if I let you go, her interest would wane. You were wrong. Um, yeah, no, you should know that. Her friend gets kidnapped. You kidnap the friend of a superhero, or whatever's actually happening to these kids that they're ending up in this villain's employ. Of course, the superhero is going to come and check on her. You check on your friends when they're hospitalized. That's what people do. She starts crying, and she will pay for your error with her life. What? No, she screams no. But seriously, you didn't think that once she went on, did a press conference saying that she was just a runaway, that Riri wouldn't come and check on her? Come on. So, of course, hi Butters. Uh, the hospital, the nurse or orderly comes in and checks on her. And, were you talking? No one is here, sweetie. You're safe. It's okay. You're okay. So yeah, we got a disappearing ninja, and I gotta move. Sorry, Butters. But somehow, while Riri was just looking at the shoe, she placed a bug in it. So she knew that Deja was talking to someone. Um, no, who is that person? Whoever he was, he's after you. You're lucky he didn't catch you putting a bug in that shoe. How do you get past the nurse? And then we get the ninja's thoughts. Surely she is close. A tenacious one, and quick. Idealistic. She conjures memories of another armored warrior I once knew. Though she, what's it say? Though she bears in her eyes a darkness he did not have. Whatever possibility lies in her broken heart is as dangerous to me as it is promising. Okay, I know Eve Ewing is I know she's a poet, but yeah, whatever possibility lies in her broken heart is as dangerous to me as it is promising. What does that mean? She's messed up in the head, and I want to hate effort. I don't know what that means. Um, but of course, she finds him. She just tried to put a bug in the shoe. How does she find him so easily? He's just hanging out outside the roof. But she says she uses thermal imaging. Imaging. You may have your mystical ninja whatever powers, but I have thermal imaging, and you're not going anywhere. So I guess she was just scanning for people on roofs. Whatever. It took her hours before she made the connection of where people work. So hey, you gotta give her an easy one on this. So yeah, they fight a little bit. Not quite sure what his end game is. Why he's fascinated with her, and you know, he lands on her. She shoots. Get off me! And I can't see him. Thermal imaging engaged. He's blocking it somehow. Don't panic. And he hits her. Got her down on her stomach, and she commands her back rockets to launch him up. And I can't find him. You can do this. Who is he? I need to know. And then she gets this idea, which I'm gonna have to stop this here soon. But since he grabbed her by the throat, she finds some duct tape, or masking tape, some type of tape, plastic tape, puts it on the armor's throat, and pulls fingerprints off. Run fingerprint ID. So somehow she finds out that this guy has a record. He's Midnight's Fire, master thief, expert martial artist, blah blah blah. what database is she accessing that they don't have his real name? Midnight's Fire. And she's just, oh my god. Do you see how foolish you were to resist? And so I haven't been reading the Champion, so I don't know what this is all about with Thanos, but they do make references to issues with the Champions. And I'm going to stop this right here because, one of the problems with this whole fight thing is that Riri can fly. And it's one of those things like you see her attacking. So many of these issues would be a lot easier if she just flew out of his reach, like up in the air. Because he doesn't seem to be able to fly. Well, except for this part here, but it looks more like he was leaping. But yeah, she should just kind of fly out of his range. But yeah, I'm going to stop there. Because I think we got enough. I'm not going to give away any more of the book here, but I'm like, the art in this book is good. I'm really liking the art. A couple books here there, the art is really fantastic, and you know, again with the whole light and dark thing, I think having it on a tablet where it lights it up really helps this book. I had the first issue in print twice actually, because I bought the reissue on accident, the second printing. Um, but yeah, I think this looks really good on a tablet, with the backlighting and the way the art is done with some of the hollow and energy fields. God damn it, I hate when I do that. Um, but yeah, the Riri's character in when she was in Iron Man was this kind of angry, cocky, um, girl with a chip on her shoulder. We're seeing something different in here. And granted, I've not been reading Champions. I don't know what Mark Waid did in that book with her. Uh, but we're seeing someone who's a little bit more broken. Remember, she's young. She may be a genius, but she's not good socially. She doesn't pick up, social cues very well. Um, it's humanizing. That was the whole thing when Marvel started. Their heroes had flaws. You know, um, and it humanized them. That was the big thing, back in the early to late 60s that helped Marvel just leap ahead of DC because they were more relatable. Not because they looked like you, not because I guess they were younger. Sometimes I guess they would have acted like them. But no, because you could empathize with them more. They were more human, and we're getting that with Riri. You know, she's had friends die. She's nearly been killed herself. She's in a dangerous line of work. She's in over her head. When she's that smart, she can do all these amazing things, but she can't. You know, uh, it took her so long to figure out that one connection. She's not perfect at everything, and as you see, she does have you know issues. This right here, why would she choose to cut a hole into the glass to get in? Well, because she's not good socially. Oh, this is she sees this as a Gordian knot type thing. Instead of going in the hospital in her civilian clothes and asking to see her, she went for the quickest, easiest thing. She cut the knot. And it's a little subtle. I kind of like that. And she doesn't understand. She seems to not really understand why Deja is lashing out at her. Um, and yeah, we see this whole uh, PTSD thing she's going through because of what's been happening to her. Eve Ewing is doing a good job on this book. I'm liking this. So yeah. So what do I think overall? I'm gonna go back to the cover. Um, this book has been a surprise. I went into this expecting it to be bad, and I ended up liking the first issue. And I thought, okay, this won't get better. It's going to go down. No, it's still the storyline. I'm not quite sure where it's going. I'm not too sure if I'm hooked on it. Um, the Midnight's Edge guy, should I know him? Um, that name seems like I've heard it somewhere before. Maybe I'm just thinking the Midnight Suns they had with Blade and Ghost Rider. Um, or that was his name, right? Midnight's Edge? Or I forgot. Maybe I'm just thinking uh, the YouTube channel Midnight's Edge. Anyway, I'm liking this book. Um, The art is great. The writing is better than I thought. Um, and she's turned me around. I was reading Iron Man when they introduced her, and as it went on, I had to dump the book because I was just hating the character. And now they've gone completely the other way, and I like her. Um, yeah, she's not perfect. The book's not perfect, but it's not bad. I think it's good. I'm giving it a 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock? Yeah, 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm liking this book, and I'm gonna keep picking it up. And I might keep picking it up digitally. I don't like reading books on my tablet. I like being able to flip pages really quickly. It's easier when you do this instead of going dur, 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 dur. 'Cause I always end up hitting panels, and I hate comicsology, and I do stuff like this. So yeah, I'm liking this book, and I'm giving it a 1 o'clock. So as always, thanks for watching. Do you have any comments? And are you liking this book? I mean, this is one of the new Marvel books, first time writer, and this is the third issue, and this book's still going well. It's not preachy or anything, and I'm liking this book. So I'm gonna keep picking it up, I think. And so yeah, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching.